Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Cracking a Cold One podcast. Today I'm joined by a very special guest. Today I'm joined by Thomas Beale. Hello, Thomas. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well today. How are you?
I'm alright. Happy to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm quite honored.
Well, the honor and privilege is ours. So, what did you want to talk about today? Any topics come to your mind?
Just this weekend I've been playing a lot of well, actually not a lot of, but I've been playing some Super Smash Bros. Recently. Do you play that?
Oh yes, I play that quite a lot. Are you I hear you're pretty good at the game.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but like, as like a general thing, I've had an advantage over pretty much everyone who goes to our school. Like, the only person who's really beaten me on a fair one-on-one is Ian Shelton. But even then, I have the advantage. Like, win-loss ratio me to him is like 15-1.
Yeah.
Not to brag or anything, but yeah.
Oh,
Who do you mean?
Not to brag or anything is indeed true if you are as talented as you are.
Yeah, I do a lot of laughing and stuff.
Yes. I'm not very very good in the Super Smash Bros. Realm. I'm not quite the dabbler in it myself, but I mean, I'll have my wins here or there.
Who do you mean?
I mean Lucina. So she's a fairly balanced character. I'm not really.
She's actually a top tier though. Like, she's actually pretty good if used well. Like, she's really good.
Well, I can guarantee you, I don't use her well. I use her pretty as well as I can, which is not very good.
I'm sure with enough practice you'll be pretty good.
Yes, maybe with enough practice.
I personally main Banjo Kazooie, if you've heard of them.
Yeah.
People usually say that they're actually pretty bad and pretty boring to play. I disagree. Like, if you take the time to learn them, which most people don't, they're actually pretty fun and actually can be really good with their a mix of defensive and aggro gameplay. Like, a good balance in between defensive and aggro, I think, could be really good with those characters.
Yeah, I've heard that the same sort of thing with with Meta Knight or some other characters. Very attack heavy.
Meta Knight is actually, I think, a little underrated as well.
Yeah.
Like, he is actually pretty good. Like, he's no brawl Meta Knight, but like, he's still got some tricks up his sleeve. Like, I think he's better than he was in Smash 4. Then again, I haven't played much of Smash 4. I only played Brawl and Ultimate consistently. But like, he's still good. I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not really. I've played it. I'll play it I'll play it at people's houses. I'll, do whatever. But I'm not religiously into it. How about Mario Kart?
Oh, yeah, the Wii game, Mario Kart Wii is the best in the series. Don't at me.
I don't think that's. You can argue with that. There's just no possible way.
That game has Funky Kong and other than the dumb mobile game, which name escapes me at this point, which doesn't really count because he was in the base game. No other game has had Funky Kong, and which I think is a crime. Like, you can't not have Funky Kong, man. He's too funky.
Well, here's a little fun fact. So in Mario Kart for the 3DS, Mario Kart 7. There's a map on it called Makahulu, and I actually hold the world record for the fastest time completing it.
Oh, really?
I do, yes. Second place is held by a Japanese man, and every so often I'll boot up my 3DS and I'll check how the placings have changed, and it's just that Japanese guy getting closer and closer to my perfect score.
Just one day he's going to find you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like...
That's why I'm terrified of going to Japan. I feel like he'll just like be waiting for me with a katana or something.
Yeah, he's just like... That's why you always gotta bring a katana whenever you go to Japan, man.
Right. Yeah. Well,
but
yeah. Are there any other video games you're into? I don't play that much.
Okay, so in early July, my sister Audrey, she got me a copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons for the Switch. Like before that, I didn't really have too much of an interest in Animal Crossing, but after she got that game, like I was just like snap into it. Like, oh, I got addicted to it.
Yeah.
My island is actually currently at a 4-star ranking right now. It's actually pretty good. I have all 6 fruits. I have 10 villagers who are all really good villagers. I have no villagers that I straight up dislike. Like, everyone talks about how they have just that one villager that they want to leave. I don't have that. Like, yeah, sure, I would like some of the more popular villagers, like Marshall, who's a bean, but like... If I were to go through my entire playthrough of Animal Crossing without getting another villager, I'd be satisfied because I just love all my villagers.
Huh. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. I haven't played New Horizons yet. I've heard good things about it though.
Compared to some other Animal Crossings, from what I've heard, it's actually pretty tame and content, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But it's still pretty good. Like, if you were just to judge it like by itself as its own game, it's actually really good. Like, I think Tom Nook, Mr. Thomas Nookins, as I like to call him, is actually done pretty well in this one. Like, I've heard before in games, like Animal Crossing games before, he's just a bit of a narcissist. He kind of thinks he's better than everyone, but in New Horizons, he's actually pretty chill. Like, gives you all this stuff, and he's actually pretty nice about it.
Something I've been trying to get back into, and I honestly think, like, coming back to it, I know I liked it, and then I got back into it, and I was like, okay, I think I can definitively say this is probably one of the greatest games ever made, if not the greatest game. Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is by far probably one of my favorite games.
I've been meaning to get that. Like,
it's totally worth it.
Like, oh my gosh, I need to tell you, there's this one time I was at GameStop, and like, I wanted to get one Switch game. I was in a debate between Breath of the Wild and Mario Maker 2. Like, I just decided between the two, and I was just like, I have my wallet with me. Why don't I flip a coin? And if it's heads, I get Breath of the Wild. Tails, I get Mario Maker 2. It landed on Tails, and I got Mario Maker 2, which, don't get me wrong, Mario Maker 2 is a really good game, I think. It's really fun. But, yeah, I've been wanting to get into Breath of the Wild. Like, I heard a lot of good things about it. I especially want to get into it before the sequel comes out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I would play it, like, kind of conservatively, because it's something you gotta savor, because there's just so much to do, so much to explore. And then when they announced the sequel was coming out, I was just like, alright, I better, kick it into gear. So I went to the castle, I defeated Ganon and stuff, and then, I was expecting the game to be over, but there's just still so much to do and so much to explore. Like, you're never done, like, finding out everything or, doing everything. It's just, it's very good. I thoroughly enjoy it and would recommend it.
Yeah. I think, like, why I was on the fence about getting it is because I've the only real Zelda games I've played were like the original and A Link to the Past, and those were on the Nintendo Switch Online NES and SNES stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I've only played those two, and I couldn't really get into them. Like, I lasted in like Link to the Past longer than I did for the original, but like, I haven't picked that up since like a while back, and I mean, I like the story for like Majora's Mask and stuff, but like I just haven't been able to get into much Zelda games.
Well, you see, I am actually the complete opposite. I have never touched a Zelda game until I started playing Breath of the Wild.
Oh.
And like, I was going into it thinking, oh man, I'm gonna be a noob, I'm not gonna know anything. But I mean, no, it's just it's a completely different game than your traditional Zelda games. It basically is the flagship of open world games. And it's, I enjoyed it. Despite not at all being into Legends of Zelda or getting into any of the games.
You know what else is like a really good open world game on the Switch? Like,
what is it?
I think have you played Mario Odyssey?
I have not. I have it, but my brother plays it more than I do, and I have not touched it that much.
Oh.
But I've heard great things about it.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really good. It's also like another big open world game. Like, it's not like Breath of the Wild where it's just all one humongous map and you just traverse it. No, it's like a lot. Like, there's a wide variety of maps, like big and small, where you can just do a ton of stuff in it. Like, and 100%ing it is no easy task. Like, there's like there's this thing where you collect a bunch of moons. Like, that's like the main source of power, like the Mario 64 star, like that's the equivalent to that. And like there's a lot of moons in that Mario Odyssey. Like,
yeah, I can imagine.
This, like, your Odyssey counter maxes out at like 999. But like in like the open world, like the world itself, there's like 801, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow.
Like 801 missions. Like, you can buy more moons like in the shops. Like, there's this fun mechanic in it where you can like dress up and stuff, and you can buy stuff from shops. I think that's in Breath of the Wild too, also.
Yeah.
But you can go in shops, and in every shop there's one mission moon that you can get. Like, if you go in the shop, you use coins to buy a moon.
Right.
And like, after you like defeat Bowser for the first time, you can go back to shop, buy like 10 moons, and you can max your star counter, or not star, moon counter on your Odyssey ship out. So that's pretty cool. There's like a ton of stuff to collect.
Sounds like it.
Like, aside from the moons, there's purple coins that you can use to buy stuff in the purple coin spot of the shop, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It adds some replayability to the game.
Definitely.
Overall, you need to check that game out. It's really good.
Oh, well, I definitely plan on it now.
Yeah. And that actually reminds me, like, Super Mario Odyssey reminds me a lot of the Banjo-Kazooie games on the N64 with the open world, like the thought they are. And it just makes me want like Banjo-Kazooie ports on the Switch. Like, I know they're owned by like Microsoft or whatever, but I would geek out if they announced like at least Banjo ports on the Switch, like with what they did with the Mario All-Stars.
Well, I wouldn't think that that's too lofty of a thing to wish for, because I mean you saw what they did with Minecraft, where Microsoft basically allowed Nintendo to be cross-platform with their Minecraft. So I wouldn't be surprised if they started porting over stuff to the Switch.
Yeah, they also have like a few other Microsoft games on the Switch, like things like the Ori Will and the Wisps. I don't remember what it was called, but something like that.
Yeah.
But my question is, like, Banjo Kazooie, their hype, I think it kind of peaked when they were announced for Smash.
Uh-huh.
I think, like, it's been like a year since that happened, and just like, where are the ports?
Yeah.
If they were so popular before, where are the ports?
That's a good question.
Like, like, the thing is, if they were to do it, I think they probably would have done it by now. Like, I'm not saying they won't, but like, I would have expected to do it by now.
Well, unless that they're, because I know they had plans, Microsoft and Microsoft and Nintendo had massive plans to like integrate next gen console software. So I know like I think that it was whoever the Xbox CEO is like, you know, we want to get to a point where you can play Switch games on the Xbox and Xbox games on the Switch and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if they're waiting for like some sort of big release like that, and then like maybe not just Banjo Kazooie, but like maybe like Banjo Kazooie and like a couple other classic Microsoft games get ported over to the Switch.
Yeah, like if we got Halo on the Switch, I think a lot of people would freak out about that. Like I personally would be like, huh, that's cool because I've personally never played Halo.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I would be like, that's actually pretty cool because like there are a lot of people who really like Halo. I think that would be really special to them.
Well, I mean, that's what happened with Doom. Like Doom got ported over to the Switch.
Yeah. Doom. When do you think we're going to get our Isabelle in Doom? When do you think we're going to get our free Isabelle DLC?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think it would be free, but Isabelle DLC in Doom, that would be cool.
It would be.
And then like, get like a Doom guy hat in Animal Crossing New Horizons. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be lit, as the kids say. Never mind.
The younger generation.
Yeah.
But yeah. But seriously, if they like announce like a cross-platform Banjo 3E, I would. Oh my gosh, I would freak out.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of Banjo 2E, they like teased like Gruntilda teased like, oh yeah, I'll be the one laughing when Banjo 3E happens or something like that, and then we never got Banjo 3E.
Nuts and Bolts was just atrocious, like
bad. The thing is with
so,
Bolts though, it's not a bad game per se. It's just a bad Banjo game.
Well, yeah, I mean, like with the standard that the first two Banjo games set, like it just couldn't meet.
He's a little disappointing.
Yeah.
But like, if it was if it was like released by itself as like not a Banjo game, I think it would have done pretty well. Probably would have been forgotten after like a year, but I don't think it would have gotten the massive hate train that it's still known for now.
Speaking of yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
And never mind, I was done with the thought.
Well, speaking of Rareware, have you played any of the Sea of Thieves yet?
No, actually, I heard it's pretty good.
It is. I'd actually quite enjoy it. I'm glad that Rareware is like back per se, because I mean that's arguably their first good game in a very long time.
Yeah. Bro, they didn't have to do what they did to Conquer.
Yeah.
Rip Conquer. Oh.
What was that?
But yeah.
What was that spin-off of Banjo that they tried to do? The ukulele?
Oh yeah, ukulele. That's not a spin-off. I think it was like a spiritual successor.
Maybe.
Like, I haven't heard a whole lot about that. Like, I've heard some people like express their distaste for it.
I heard a lot of people express their distaste for it. They were just no one liked it. Oh, I
heard some people liked it.
Well, there was a lot of controversy around it because, like, they apparently do you know what happened to Jontron like back in like 2017?
No, actually.
Yeah, like he got into some like hot water with his politics and stuff, and
Oh,
I guess but he was a really big fan of Banjo Kazooie, and
yeah, I saw his Nuts and Bolts video. I thought it was pretty great.
yeah, um, and they were gonna have him in Ukulele as sort of like the spiritual successor, and because of that whole controversy thing, they like shredded his contract and said he wasn't allowed to voice act in it, and a lot of people did not like that.
What did he do? Like, I didn't hear about this.
Sure. So actually, it's quite funny. Just how many people reacted harshly to this. He was I guess on a. Do you know who Sargon of Akkad is by any chance?
I think I've heard the name.
He's a big political YouTuber. Kind of leans to like the right wing ish. Well, not ish. He is very hard right wing.
I see.
And he decided to pop up on one of his live streams. Jontron did, and he started talking about politics, like stuff like Trump and identity politics and other stuff like that. And he expressed a lot of very, we'll say, like neoconservative viewpoints. And that did not sit well with a lot of people. And so, he got into a little bit of a heated arguments with some people. And then do you know who Destiny is?
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
He was invited to do a live stream with Destiny, and talk about it. And in the live stream, Destiny just tore him to shreds. He just destroyed Jontron and made him, like, it wasn't even about his political views anymore. Like, they made him sound like he was some sort of like neo-Nazi. And like he just like had to like step away from that and then explain, like, I lost that debate. I was not prepared for that at all. It was terrible. And a lot of people, there was a lot of people who were a little bit disappointed with Jontron, but a lot of people who stuck with him. And he was, I don't know, he was what you would call, I guess, canceled.
Cancel culture before it was cool.
Right. So, like, he was, that kind of happened to him first.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad Jontron could pull it together, and then we got the flex tape video.
I am too, because, like, regardless of his political views or whatever, I very much enjoy Jontron's content.
Yeah, his content is very enjoyable, especially his flex tape videos. Like, those are pretty great.
Well, I mean, Jontron is definitely, it's not hard to tell at all. Like, old Jontron is kind of the person I like kind of try to emulate in my YouTube videos. Like trying to bring back the commentary element of some of that stuff that he started. Yeah. Actually
kind of do enjoy content like that. Like, I miss it.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately it did have a time and a place, but I mean, I think you can still like look at it and be like, oh, this was good stuff.
Good. And God looked on his work and he said, "It is good."
Yeah.
But yeah. Honestly, though, I would like to see a return of the content like that. Like, still find it enjoyable. Like, I do understand that it does have like its place, like YTPs and like video game playthrough Let's Plays. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, as of recently, I've been seeing a lot of old YouTube trends just getting as the kids nowadays like to say, they got the boot. Like, like YTPs. Like, I've been seeing exponentially less YTPs every year. Like, I used to enjoy those.
Well, I think that YouTube poops are dead. Like, I think you can definitively say they've run their course, as they say. They They're
There are
just
still
dead.
some good YouTube poop channels out there, like Jimmy Davis, stuff like channels like that. I think he's like the leader in YouTube poops in modern days, but like, yeah, for the most part, they've mostly gotten the boot.
Yeah.
It's really kind of sad.
A little bit.
Yeah. It's also kind of sad that Let's Plays of old have been replaced with like the video game commentaries of modern day. Like, I still like the video game commentary videos of modern day, like Alpharad, my boy, I love him, and Little Z, I like those, but dude, it still kind of hurts that Let's Players like Chugga Conroy and people like them have been getting less and less popular.
Yeah, I can see that, definitely.
Yeah. That's really kind of sad.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. My throat, it feels like I'm tearing. It sounds like I'm tearing.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm not crying, guys, I swear.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
So, what else is on the discussion block tonight?
Oh, I don't know. It's your podcast. Whatever you want.
Okay, so, oh my gosh, I was just thinking, like the other day, during lunch one day, I was talking with Ian Shelton about the Star Wars sequels and my overall thoughts on them. Like, we were having a very educated discussion over it. It wasn't just like, this thing sucks and this thing sucks. No, it was a discussion like
very cultured discussion, giving you a fair say. Very
cultured discussion between two chaps over Star Wars sequels.
Yes. Well, what are your opinions on the Star Wars sequels, Tommy?
I think it started out well, but gradually just kind of started to drop in quality. Like,
how so?
Like, it's initially I started like from The Force Awakens. I usually like to compare the popularity of, or like quote unquote popularity of that movie. I like to compare it to the video game Sonic Colors. Have you heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah, both of these things generally were pretty well received when they first came out, but the release of subsequent sequels have really soured their image, like, if you know what I mean.
That makes sense. That's a pretty good
yeah, because like when I first watched the Force Awakens, I thought it was really great. Like, I thought it was, yeah, I thought, and I still think it's still the best of the three movies,
right.
Even if it has flaws. Like, it still definitely has flaws. Like, Rey, she was a bit of a Mary Sue, but like at the time it came out, like there was so much potential with what you could do with her. But the thing is, I don't want to get up on my soapbox here, but
go right ahead.
J.J. Abrams had a plan for the series.
Oh, I don't think that there's anything soapboxy about that. It definitively he did not. Like, it was
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. But he does this thing where it's like the whole mystery box thing that he likes to do. Like, if you know that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of got in the way of him telling like a good story. He wants to raise more questions, but didn't have any real definitive answers to them.
Right.
And he didn't really have a plan to really answer them. Or maybe he did, and like Ryan Johnson had a different vision for the series. And like The Last Jedi, I have a love-hate relationship with that movie. Like, I initially did not like it very much, but now, like, looking back at it after the release of Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, a lot of the decisions in this movie are actually not awful. Like, you know what I mean?
I think oddly enough, I've heard a lot of people like with that sort of opinion about especially Rise of Skywalker, because I think, like you said, the initial crowd reaction to it was, oh, this is terrible, this is bad, and I think people are like sort of watching it in the context of the whole trilogy, and then they're like, oh well, I mean, it made sense at least. 9 just didn't make sense. Like, I thought 9 was definitively just terrible.
That movie makes me angry.
It does. The whole trilogy makes me angry. That's why, like, I hate Star Wars. It ruined all of Star Wars for me. Like, I don't even like I can't even watch the original ones anymore without thinking of, oh, well, it just means nothing because, First Order is going to come back and everyone's going to die. Like, it makes me upset to just watch Star Wars now.
Well, I heard recently that Disney's retconning the sequel trilogy and it's not going to be canon.
Really?
I've heard rumors about that.
I heard too. I relegated them to like fanfare, but if those are like legitimate rumors, like I would be so happy if that would happen, because just everyone, I'd be hard pressed to find because you're gonna have the 1 or 2 people, but like a consistent like group of people who are like, yeah, the sequel trilogy was the best trilogy or whatever. They just don't exist, and I think Disney knows that.
Yeah, they're gonna be pretty mad, but like, honestly, I do think it overall is the best decision they could go with. Like, I think there's so much more stuff he could, more potential he could do with just the limitations of the sequel trilogy gone.
Yeah.
There's you could tell so many more stories. Like, you could probably tell stories about how have you read the extended universe?
I have read a little bit of it.
I haven't. I've tried to get into some of the extended universe books. I've heard reviews about them and heard they were really good. I tried to get into some of them, but I dropped off over time.
Yeah.
But I heard they were really good. I thought some of the stories they told were actually pretty interesting. When I wanted to get into them, I was personally pretty young. I'm pretty young. It's ew, books? Gross. But I actually, thinking about it now, I might actually go back to reading some of them because we actually own some. And I might go back to reading them because a lot of the stories they told, from what I've heard, they're actually pretty interesting. Luke getting married to this girl, Sarah Jade. I don't know the exact story, but it sounds more interesting than the sequels.
Oh well, I mean, the legends, the books, had the sequels mapped out. All you had to do was just make a movie off of the already canonized books that already existed, and you would have been fine. And that would have been well received, and it would have been all fun and dandy and stuff. But they didn't do that. They decided to go their own special little direction, and we got the disaster of what we now know as the trequel, the sequel trilogy.
Yeah,
it's just awful.
Yeah, I think it was really soured by the Rise of Skywalker and it was the thing with The Last Jedi. It had some good ideas, it's just the execution for some of them was bad, and the execution and ideas were bad for some of them.
Yeah.
But the real problem I think it made was it left the overall trilogy in a corner. There wasn't really anywhere you could go after The Last Jedi that would be interesting or unexpected.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think there was really anywhere else that J.J. Abrams could go. I think the best decision after The Last Jedi would just be to bring in another new director and see what he could do, because J.J. Abrams, I was kind of worried that he was going to introduce more mystery box questions that would never be answered. And we got some of that, but I was just kind of disappointed. think overall they should have brought in a new director,
Yeah.
or even better, just remove Kathleen Kennedy. I think she's.
Oh yeah, she is the worst thing that has happened to Star Wars since Jar Jar Binks. Like I swear, it is just awful what she's done to the series.
Wait, I don't remember. Was she involved with like the Mandalorian?
I don't know. They it was either no, it was not Mandalorian. It was the new Clone Wars, which I thought was amazing. They decided to just, they were supposed to originally have all of the people who were working on the sequels work on it, and then they decided like last minute, no, call Cartoon Network, we're getting all the original people to Clone Wars, and that's what they did. They got the original director, they got the original animation team, and I think that it's probably the best decision they could have made because it turned out immaculately good.
Yeah, I personally have not watched the Clone Wars.
Really?
And
you're missing out on a lot.
I tried to get into it. I watched the first episode like forever ago. And I never watched the rest of the series.
Yeah.
And then like when season 7 came out, I kind of wanted to get into that. Then I thought, I get into season 7, I'm gonna have to watch a full-length movie and 6 seasons worth of the TV show to watch this to kind of get the full experience. And I just was like, no, I don't want to do that. So
well, I can tell you this: the TV show is really easy to binge. Like you can just like they're 22-minute episodes. You can just put it on, and fall asleep to it basically. And it's good. You don't need to watch the movie. The movie sets nothing up. It's kind of just like a pilot episode. And you don't even have to watch all the episodes in order. Like as long as you watch the first season, the third season, and the 5th season, you're pretty much, you're good.
I see.
It's just a series. It has filler episodes, but it's really good. If you haven't, that I do recommend.
I might get into that after this. Then, that's on my list of shows I want to get into.
Yeah, I highly recommend it.
But yeah, that actually kind of reminds me. You have Disney Plus, right?
I do. Yes.
Okay, so have you heard of the TV show Avengers: Earth's Mightiest Heroes?
Yeah, the OG Avengers series.
Yeah, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. You've watched that?
Yeah, I've watched the whole series. When it aired on Disney XD, I believe it did.
It's so good.
I like it. Yeah, it's I don't know how you fall on the spectrum. There's a very definitive divide between the old episodes of that series and the new episodes. I personally prefer the new episodes, but I mean, I don't know. I think the new episodes are much closer to the cinematic universe, and the old episodes are much closer to the Marvel comic universe. So
wait, do you mean Avengers Assemble?
I'm not talking not Assemble. I'm talking Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I think
season 1 versus season 2.
Is there only 2 seasons?
Yeah, there's only 2 seasons.
Well, yes, then I guess season 1, season 2.
I think overall, season 2, it is better than season 1, mostly because season 1 was mostly just it had to find its footing.
Yeah.
Some of the earlier episodes, the animation didn't always look great. And, I remember I think it was, part 1 of the Breakout episode, there was this one shot where, Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. were on this, on one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. lift things. And, you could see the 2D models. They didn't look like they were on the same plane. It looked like if you, in Super Smash Bros. If you wanted a camera view and you tried to look at Game & Watch and it's just 2D. You know that?
Yeah,
feeling?
I get it. Yeah.
There's one shot where that just straight up happened. But I do think as season 1 went along, it did get better, and then season 2 comes along, and they've perfected their craft. It's so good. I really wish it wasn't canceled because hearing about some of the concepts they have for later seasons, they were super cool. Like, I heard that they wanted to go with like a full Infinity Gauntlet storyline with one of the later seasons.
That would have been cool.
Yeah. That I kind of wish it wasn't canceled for Avengers Assemble, because like I watched through like the first three I think it was like 2 or 3 seasons of Avengers Assemble, and I'm like
it's just really, it doesn't have the same charm as Earth's Mightiest Heroes did.
Yeah, it's like we really canceled Earth's Mightiest Heroes for this.
Yes.
Like don't get me wrong, it did have some good elements. Like I think the voice actor for Tony Stark was exquisite. He wasn't as good as Earth's Mightiest Heroes, but he was still really good.
Yeah.
And I think Captain America was handled better. Like I love Captain America in the original, but like most of his personality just consisted of the soldier who always does the right thing. Where like in Assemble, he at one point he just straight up quits the Avengers because he can't really I actually don't remember why, but he quit the Avengers for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And brought a bunch of the Avengers with him. Of course, there was he did do some really dumb things with what he did. Like it was during the Ultron arc, and there's this one part where he was teaming up with S.H.I.E.L.D. and they were fighting Ultron at this one point. And Captain America, he brings these robots to help fight Ultron with them, even though in this series Ultron can take control of any robot that he wants.
Yeah.
It's kind of dumb. Like, the show was just kind of dumb like that. It did have its artistic merits, but like overall it was not as good as the original.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that you know the SpiderMan series, like all of them that came out.
Yes. Which one? There are
all of them. You just know. Have you seen?
Okay, so I remember watching the entire '90s cartoon,
right?
And I remember watching, not all of. I remember watching most of Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I still haven't gotten to season 4, and I don't really intend to watch the rest of that. But I remember binging the first 3 seasons of that. But like
there are like so many Spider-Man series, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
Like
the '90s series is the best.
90s series was there, and then you had the one where he goes to like that second Earth. Yeah, I forget what it's called. It's a really trippy show. I didn't watch all of it, but I just know of it because of.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about like Spider-Man Unlimited?
Yes, Unlimited.
Yeah, I heard of that. It was pretty trippy from what I've heard.
Yes. There's Unlimited, there's Spectacular Spider-Man, which like didn't last that long.
I heard Spectacular was actually really good.
I thought it was good. I haven't seen it in like a very probably 10 years, but it's pretty good. I thought.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I wish it would come to Disney Plus so I could watch that, because I really want to watch it.
Yeah.
But...
Well, I think I might be wrong. Nick, I believe, owns it.
Maybe. Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Let's see. They made that one, and then I think after that one, they made the Ultimate Spider-Man, which I actually thought was pretty good. Like, I liked it a little. As far as Disney XD series goes.
Yeah.
I thought it was alright. I think the new one, I think it's just called the Spider-Man. The new one is
I think it's just
bad.
Called Spider-Man.
I don't like it.
I heard that was pretty bad.
It's not. It just lost the charm of the original one, or not the Ultimate Spider-Man, but like not nearly even remotely as good as like the '90s one or Spectacular.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty bad, but like Ultimate Spider-Man, I think it's a mixed bag. Like There are some pretty good episodes. Like, I remember there was this one episode in season 1 where, like, his shield gets overtaken by the Zodiac.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually really good because I think it was able to capture, like, the comedy and some darker tones of the series. I think it did that pretty well.
Yeah.
It didn't really go very far with, like, its quote-unquote twist ending, where, like, it's revealed that the leader of Zodiac is actually Nick Fury's brother. Like, I don't remember him ever that plot point ever coming up after that episode, which is kind of disappointing. But whatever, it's still a good episode.
I don't know. I thought, like, just the character development in general was much better. Because I think the whole point of, like, Spider-Man is, like, he's the sarcastic teenager trope. And, like, that's literally the easiest character to nail. Like, I'm not even going to consider it an accomplishment on the older series, because it's just such an easy character to emulate. I think it's much more of an accomplishment on the newer one, where, like, they somehow mess it up. Like, it's just, like, the joke. Like, he's not funny. Like, it's nothing he says is clever. It's just he's
spouting out smart guy stuff because he's a smart kid.
Well, and
I heard that
Sorry, go ahead.
What? Go ahead.
Oh well,
no,
just
you go ahead.
Like his friends, like, I don't even understand who some of these people are. Like, none of them are in the comics or anything. It's.
I actually heard a few of them are in the comics.
Yeah.
Like, of course, there's Miles Morales, who everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
There's Harry Osborn. There's I think there's one girl's like Anya. I think that's her name. She was in the comics.
Yeah.
I even think, like, the person who eventually becomes Silk was there. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
How about that new spin-off show for SpongeBob?
What's that? I haven't heard of that.
I think it's like Camp Coral. They're making a spin-off show for SpongeBob.
Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of sad because, like, the thing is, Steven Hillenburg didn't want to release any spin-off shows for SpongeBob. And then he died, and Nick's just like, well, let's release a spin-off show.
Yeah. It's very convenient when the creators die, so then.
Yeah.
Or sells the company in George Lucas's case.
Oh well.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about it since, like, they first announced it. I don't know if it's airing now or anything like that, but I'm just trying to stretch it out to an hour, so we're just trying to talk about this.
No, I get it.
It's kind of sad.
No, you're fine. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of good old shows. Like, did you ever watch probably not. Did you ever watch the old Iron Man?
Iron Man Armored Adventures?
Yes. I guess not that old.
Oh, I used to watch that. I didn't finish the series, but, like, I used to watch that. It's pretty cool. It has a banger for a theme song, though.
It does.
It really does. Like, I listen to that on my Spotify playlist all the time. It's really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was really interesting what they did with Iron Man. Like, I think in the comics, Iron Man is a bit limited because he doesn't have, like, his Doctor Dooms or his Jokers or anything like that. Like, the best he has is the Mandarin, and most people don't really know about him as well because he's not as iconic. So I think what they did in that show is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I don't think a lot of people really liked the, like, high school angle that it took.
I don't know. I didn't at first, but it grew on me.
Yeah. I think it overall was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Yeah. It was alright.
Yeah.
Well, Tommy, a very, very interesting, very, very nice episode of the podcast. Thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure having you on.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Very happy to have you on. Definitely wanted to get you on. And then, I don't know who's going to be on the next one. Maybe Tommy again. Maybe some Tommy and some friends.
Maybe again with my girlfriend.
Yes. And then we can meet my girlfriend.
Joe's girlfriend.
All right. Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in tonight. And we'll see you on the next episode of the podcast.